Oh my gosh, you guys, this is your last chance to get the Switch for cheap. It is going up to 47,000 yen. Okay, and like $50 more in the US. It's your last chance to get it for cheaper than it's going to be. And also at the same time, Nintendo's doing crazy things because they also they're about to drop a Switch 2 bundle where it saves you money. So they're about to gouge you for prices and save you money all at the same time. What is going on? We're gonna talk all about that. Welcome back to Bros and Badges. I'm Zach. I'm joined by my boy Joe. If you like our silliness, our dorkiness, our genius, then please like and subscribe. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I wanted to get that out because I gotta check the YouTube box.
Yeah.
Please like, please subscribe, hit the bell. I don't think people do that anymore. Anyway, guys, yeah, we are talking all about the price change that is going to take place in September. The Switch 2 is going up in price. I'm going to quickly walk you guys through what those price changes are in the different regions. Yes, if you are in Japan, this is going to be effective May 25th. So you have way less time. To all of our Japanese followers and viewers, I think there's none of you, but hey, if there are, this one's for you. You guys have till May 25th to get the Switch 2 for cheaper. Current price is 37,000 yen, but it is going up to 47,000 yen. That's intense. I don't know what yen translates to, but that sounds like a lot of money. And then in the United States, it is going up from $449.99 to $499.99. So $450 to $500. CAD, it's going from $630 to $680. And then in Europe, we're going up from 469.99 euros to 499.99 euros. So all of that takes place in September. Like I said, Japan, that's a lot sooner. But yeah, so they are upping the price. If you guys want to get a Switch 2, you don't have one yet, now is the time to do it. And then weirdly, they made this announcement. They said, hey, it's going up in September. You got plenty of time to get the Switch 2 at the old price. But then also, in the meantime, we're going to do you a solid, and we're also going to drop this new Switch 2 bundle, choose your own game bundle. Joe, you got that pulled up? You got any info on this Switch 2 bundle?
I'm analyzing all the information right now. It's coming to me directly from Nintendo. So it looks like they are going to be dropping the bundle in early June, they're saying, and this bundle will consist of, as you said, the choose your own game bundle, and the three options that we currently have are Mario Kart World, which was an original bundle at launch, but since then has been discontinued factory-wide. But it looks like they're bringing that back for another huzzah. We also got Pokopia, which for anybody who has bought a Switch 2 since March, probably is what they did anyway, so they're probably very upset about it. And then lastly, we have the Donkey Kong Bananza game. So I think with those three games, they chose probably the three most premier Switch 2 games that we have to offer right now. I think you're covered across the board. If you want a nice single player adventure, you go with Donkey Kong. You want something a little bit more cozy, Pokopia, and then of course your multiplayer focused Mario Kart. Now this is going to be released at $500, so we're at the $499.99. What will be the new standard for the Switch? You are now getting a Switch 2 plus a game that is not $50. So I think no matter which way you look at it, this is a fantastic bundle. For anybody who has gotten a Switch 2 without this, it kind of sucks, but at the same time, you've at least had more time to play these games. For anybody who was a little bit more hesitant on buying the Switch at its price, I think this is the time to jump in because, come September, you are paying $500 for no game. So it does seem like a little bit of a weird move that they're doing, but ultimately I think it's just to squeeze a little extra million copies sold before September comes and they sell another million, because as most people know, it is pretty well documented now, the Switch 2 is the fastest selling console pretty much of all time. So it's doing
20 million plus.
Yeah, which is ridiculous for a console that's like gonna be a year old. Very, very insane, intense. But I do think it's really cool that they're doing this, right? It's the news of the price gouging will always suck to hear. It is across the board. We're hearing it with Xbox. We're hearing it with PlayStation. It is just getting incredibly hard to keep these lower price points for consoles, and I think it is causing kind of an overall mess for the gaming community, because we're already at the point where consoles are pretty much close to the amount you'll spend on a good gaming PC. So at that point, it's making consoles kind of obsolete. Now, Nintendo obviously does have the added benefit of, having exclusives be their kind of bread and butter. So you're going to get a Switch anyway if you are interested in Nintendo IPs. But yeah, it'll always suck to hear the prices going up. So I think this is them kind of just extending the olive branch and being like, hey, listen, yeah, I think the bundles are cool. Zach, I don't know about you, but I think the 3 games that they're offering are super fair. I think getting any one of those 3 games for $50 is an incredible deal. All 3 of them are jam-packed. Say what you will about Mario Kart World. I think that's probably the one I would be least excited to get. But, Pokopia, a game that when it was announced was $70, and I was kind of like, I don't know how they're going to make that worth $70. It's proven time and time again. It is probably worth $70. I mean, the amount of love that went into that game is insane. And Donkey Kong Bonanza is one of the best games I played last year. Not even close. It was a fantastic experience. But what about you, Zach? Do you have any thoughts on these bundles? Do you think it's cool they're doing it? And also, just for us, what bundle would you go with if you didn't already, you cough up the money to give to Nintendo on release?
Yeah, I mean, it should be noted that these games, by the way, will be digital. You're not getting a physical copy of Donkey Kong Bonanza or Pokopia or, Mario Kart World, naturally. But the savings is pretty good. Like Joe said, currently with the price of the system, you're essentially saving $20 if you get Pokopia or Donkey Kong Bonanza, and you're saving $30 if you get Mario Kart World with it. So that's the better technical bang for your buck. But once this price change happens, you're realistically saving up to $80, so pretty crazy. So it's definitely worth it to get now if you don't have a Switch 2 and you want one. If you're excited for Star Fox, if you're excited for the supposed Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time remake coming, now's the time to get the Switch 2. If you've been on the fence, this is a great way to do it. Great purchase. Like Joe said, all 3 of these games are awesome in their own ways. A lot of people have discourse, anger about Mario Kart World. It wasn't quite the game they thought it was going to be. But at the same time, when it came out, I still had so much fun with my friends playing the game. Tons of my friends wanted to come over just to play the game. You know what I'm saying? And they had a blast. None of my casual friends were like, what? This isn't the Mario Kart I wanted. Like, not a single one. They're just like, oh, this is fun. Toad's fast. It was
I could play as a penguin and a cow.
Exactly. Literally all my homies were like, oh, I want to be the penguin, I want to be the cow. Like, that was what they cared about. So anyway, it's a good game. Not necessarily my recommendation, but it's a great game still, especially if you're going to just play it with friends. It's the best casual play with friends game. I think the best experience to me is Donkey Kong Bonanza. It's an incredible game. I had so much fun, and oddly, that was a game I wasn't even excited about till I played it. I didn't really like the idea that I was just going to be breaking stuff, and then once I got into it, I was like, oh, there's way more than just breaking stuff. Like, it still functions a lot like a 3D platformer, just in a new, unique way, and the game looks amazing. The story is so fun. The level designs are some of the best I've ever seen from Nintendo. It's just a fantastic game. And then Pokopia is obviously incredible. It's chock full of content. A lot of people were angry that it was a game key card, but in this bundle, it doesn't really matter because you're getting it digitally anyway. So it's like, okay, now's the perfect time to get Pokopia and a Switch 2 if you haven't yet. So I think they're all good games. I think my personal recommendation would be Donkey Kong Bonanza, just because I love that game. But hey, this is a Pokemon channel, so I would not be surprised if a lot of you bought it for Pokopia, and that's going to be a great purchase too. I think it's interesting. Overall, I don't like the fact that it's going up in price. Let's be real. Nintendo has sold so many of these systems, they could eat the cost. Like, they might not be making as much money on the Switch 2, but they would make it up for in games and what they've already sold. Absolutely. So they do not need to do this no matter what the market situation is. But Nintendo historically is a company that does not like to really sell anything at a loss. And based on what they've said, it sounds like they, even with this price increase, they might still actually be selling the Switch 2 at a little bit of a loss. Hard to say, but it just does kind of sound like that's what they're hinting at, because even when they made the announcement it was going up in price, they were like apologetic, and they were like, we can't say that this is like even really helping us like that much, but it is helping. Like, it was kind of like that sentiment. I was like, okay, interesting. So they might, even with this increase, they might still be selling it at a bit of a loss. Could they sell it at more of a loss? Absolutely. But it is cool that this bundle is available. That's great. I think this is a good way to get in now before that happens, and that's my recommendation. You know, if you're angry about the price going up but you still want to play these games, then heck yeah, now's the chance. Go get it. Go get it for that friend who you just love enough to spend $500 on. I don't have any friends that I like that much. But
yeah, me neither. I don't have anybody I like that much.
But yeah, Joe, if you had to pick one of these games as your recommendation, what would it be? Mine's Donkey Kong. I'm sticking with that. But
yeah, I mean, unfortunately, the boring answer here is Donkey Kong. We are a Pokemon channel. Pokopia is fantastic. I will rant and rave about Pokopia as much as possible, but Donkey Kong Bananza did not get its flowers. It deserves so much more love. It was a fantastic love letter to the series, and honestly, it felt straight like a continuation of like a Mario Odyssey. Worlds were beautiful, showcases the graphics incredibly. Gameplay loop is super fun, but you know, in terms of like replayability, I think maybe it's a little less in that category compared to the other two.
That's true.
So
very true.
I think ultimately it depends on what gamer you're coming at this bundle as. Again, if you're super multiplayer friendly or casual, Mario Kart's the way to go. If you want a really just tight, good game experience that you're going to be playing for maybe 9 hours, Donkey Kong's the way to go. And if you love yourself some farming sims and pretty much anything in that realm, Pokopia is, in my opinion, the greatest life sim game that we have out. It is incredibly packed when it comes to gameplay. But again, for me personally, I gotta go the same route as you, Zach. I think Donkey Kong Bonanza for that price is just too good to pass up. Like, definitely, especially for your first game for Switch 2. Incredible. I can't imagine. I wish it was a launch title. It was just that good.
I will say this though, in terms of what the general audience seems to gravitate towards, I don't hear a lot of people ever complaining about Pokopia. So if you're not sure about these three games, like literally if you're not sold on any one of them, oddly, I would say the one that will probably surprise you and you'll enjoy the best just based on how everybody else feels about it probably is Pokopia, which is kind of funny.
Good point.
So know that. Yeah, it is the most universally liked. So you'll probably like it no matter what. Even if it's not your favorite, I guarantee you will like the game. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so that's a good purchase regardless. You can't go wrong. But guys, yeah, let us know what you think in the comments about this, about the price increase, about the Switch 2 choose your own game bundle. Are you picking it up? Do you already have a Switch 2? A lot of you probably do because you watch this channel. But maybe you're a mobile player and you've never really wanted to get a Switch 2, but now is maybe the chance. You just came into some yard work money, you know, you mowed grandma's lawn and now you've got that chance. I don't know whose grandma's paying him $500 to mow their lawn.
Grandma.
Could she be my grandma too? All right. Anyway, guys, we will see you all on the next Bros and Badges podcast. Till then, what's up?